Sir, the Crimean army has arrived. I hope they're prepared to bask in oblivion, for this will be their final resting place. Crimean Stragos join with an army and a loan from Benyon. I've heard they even have a betrayer in their midst, and yet they still march on. What an odd group, but as long as Kilva stands at the side of Dan, they have no future. I suppose they're just unlucky. Whatever you say, dude. How you proceed? No tricks, nothing fancy. We'll hit them from the front, fast and hard. If you don't do something about Kilva, you're at a disadvantage. Heard about the Ravens, but even so, it's not as if we can turn tail and run away. King Kilvas and Prince Rayson used to be close. Yeah, used to be. If you asked him to speak to the king, he was most emphatic in his refusal. Seems that Naysala was responsible for Rayson's capture. We already knew this. And the Hawks, they too are of the bird tribe. Surely some connection can be found there. They weren't very excited about the suggestion. I'd rather not force it. You don't have to, but you should. So. Yeah, but I can only do things the best I know how, my own way. Alright, let's do it. When starting each of these turns on a map, you are going to want to make sure that you highlight the 3 ballista to know what their range is, and also Naysala himself, so this will give you an idea of how far you can move before you're going to get attacked by one of those 3 things. Namely, in this case, it's mostly coming from this ballista in the front. I'm going to try to get him out by the 2nd turn. Go ahead and remove him out. You are going to want to put a lot of your high-range movements up near the front, because you want to get that first ballista out as fast as you can. Secondly, I'm going to move Tanith over into the corner and use her reinforced ability. This will call for help, and this will pull out 2 Holy Guards that are level 10 Pegasus Knights. Their stats differ a little bit, 13, 19, 20 for their main stats. 13, well no, I guess they are the same, but their weapons are different, Javelin versus Steel Lance. And then also a level 1 Falcon Knight, whose stats are going to be a little bit higher, but they're still relatively frail, so just a fair warning about that. Let's go ahead and pull you back up. Move Jill just out of reach of that. And then we'll move Ike and direct him. Or we'll have him target, and then we'll have all of our ally units move here. You can use Reinforce twice per map, so there will be another set of 3 that will show up, so you've got enough opportunities to get enough time to get up to that ballista and knock them out. You just have to be careful while you're doing it, because you don't want to lure Naysala over there. You want to keep him with the main group. Let's go ahead and pull that back up. As for Rayson and Janeth and Volke, the difference between the two, I just went with Volke because he's more defense-based, and I'm not going to be using them for attacking. His job is literally just to talk to Naysala whenever he gets close. So, for that reason, I would probably recommend Volke over Janeth, but it really doesn't matter that much. It's completely your call. Keep in mind, since Naysala is a Lugu's Royal, he is going to have the ring that basically lets him stay transformed throughout the entire fight. So, you will not be able to wait for him to transform back and then try to attack him. You're going to be attacking him full on. I do not believe he has a full guard, though, so you would be able to take advantage of bonus damage through either wind magic or arrows, but like I said, the best strategy would be to avoid fighting him altogether. Naysala can go up to here. Or up to this point, so movement of 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this turn, so what I'm going to do is try to remove this guy. If not, I'll weaken him and he might run away. And I'll move right there. And when we move up, we need to get rid of these guys. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's just do this for now. That's enough of a crit rate to warrant a problem, and after I just got killed by a boss, or, well, not just, but from what you guys saw, I just got killed by a boss that had that. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful this time around. Okay, we'll wait there. Remember, you can kill the Bjork units, it's just the Lagoos that you don't want to kill. The regular units like these guys, yeah, go ahead and take them out, because they're just going to get in the way otherwise. And there's not really too many. Once you've removed the hawks or the crows from the map, you'll realize that there actually aren't a lot of units that are human units. It's kind of bizarre. Yeah, that's good. We'll just do that. Man, a lot of people are getting levels. Got a killer axe. That's going to the convoy because I don't have any axe users. I don't like them. I'm sorry for if that actually bugs anybody. I'm sorry, but for the most part, and I say for the most part because there are some exceptions, axe users for me generally aren't that good. I don't like units that have a high chance of missing typically in most fights, so I generally try to avoid them. There are some exceptions to that. There's a unit in Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon that's actually got, and he's pretty early on too, and he's an axe user, and he's actually very good. Go ahead and call for help. Move Ike forward. Okay, that's Naysala's range. Like this guy's range. He can hit Neffany, but he probably won't. He's probably going to go for any of the allies that get within range. So Ike will move you up here. We do need to avoid Naysala getting in the way, but I do need to get rid of this ballista, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, he's out. And I don't believe... Yeah, there aren't really... There's like one archer that you saw a second ago. I don't know if these guys actually bother to get back on the ballista and start firing again, but there's only like 2 other archers besides him, so usually it's not a problem. If you think it will be, though, then just go ahead and remove the archers or snipers, and then, you know, nobody will be able to get back on the ballista, and it won't be a problem. Got the Lagu's bow. We'll go ahead and put that in the convoy. I'm going to move Oscar 1 over, and this will hopefully make all these 4 guys go after him. Okay, yes, we're still at range. That guy will either attack or he will run away to heal. Volke will move you up. Partners will take their turn. And yeah, at least one of them is in the way of the bullet. Yeah, he's just gonna run off and heal. That other one might come after me, but the Dragon Knights aren't really the problem. But yeah, see, they didn't go after Jill. That's the important thing. Yeah, these guys I could care less about. Even if Oscar doesn't kill them, then it's no big deal. They're not the problem right now. The worst those 4 could do is get in the way while you're trying to interact with Naysala. That's the worst they can do, really. Man, my throat is like still shot from playing Mario Party with my friends. He had his birthday. Right now it's currently the 3rd of January when I'm recording this. I don't know when it's going up, but I'd been at his house through the 31st and the 1st. So I'd been there for like a full day, give or take. And we played 2 rounds of Mario Party, and my gosh, there was just so much yelling. Not even at each other, it was just at the AI. We played a 20-turn game on Mario Party 3, and one of the AIs is Wario, and I am not making this up. He hit 9 battle spaces in a 20-turn game. He was going out of his way to hit the battle games. I swear, it was the most obnoxious thing. Just freaking Wario, man. I'm telling you. Okay, so, movement of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just attack him with a spear or some ranged weapon. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, we're good. 94. Yeah, we're good. I better not miss. Remember, Jill's got that full guard, so if you don't, remember the archers still can't hurt you, even if they're not using the ballista. That might also be why they didn't go for Jill's, because she had full guard, but, you know, full guard would be a fantastic thing to put on your flyer for this round, even if you're using it for somebody else. So that's the ballista taken care of. This guy over here is not really a problem. As you can see, his range is pretty far back, and there's multiple squares that Naysala can touch that he won't be over here. So really, it's not too big of an issue. Just kind of stick to the left here. So, we've gotten the ballista out. I'm going to go kill this guy in a second. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that now. I really don't want to have to worry about him later on, so let's just go ahead and get rid of him now. Alright, there's that. So now the big priority is Naysala. So, in order to get Naysala to come talk to you, the first thing you want to do is lure him out. I would highly recommend a character that's got a ridiculous amount of HP. You're not going to be able to outspeed him pretty much. Like you can see 21, 23, 25, but nothing's really catching 31 on speed. So he's probably going to get to go twice regardless of who you pick. Like even a Sword Master can't catch up to that. So somebody with high HP, high defense and resistance would also be nice. Let's see, 1710, 17.8, 43, 41... I'm probably just going to go with Ike, because that's who I went with last time, and it worked, so Ike will probably be our choice here. If the other Hawks over here are getting close to transforming, I would recommend taking a character over here out of the range of that ballista that cannot counterattack from one range, so somebody with a bow or just unequip their weapon, and just let the Hawks attack them and heal as necessary. So I'm going to put Ike right here, and I'm going to have him... I'm actually going to have him make the allies move over here, because I don't want Naysala going after them. He's not missing any HP, okay. And then we're going to wait. So that's going to lure Naysala out. And now what the priority is to get Rayson and Ulki as close as you can. You don't have to get them super close, but you need to get them relatively close. Rayson's more the issue because he can't move as far. So I'm just going to push him a little bit farther forward. That should do. Like I said, I'm going to go put some units over here. I'm just going to unequip their weapons. Actually, that might be a bit far. No, that's actually just out of range. We'll do that. Okay, there we go. Tanith, you can't do anything more. Your reinforce is gone. So if this is done correctly, Naysala should launch a wind attack at you, or vortex, whatever you want to call it. He's going to be using his... Jeez, you're going way back there to heal, dude. He's going to launch a vortex attack. Where I'm sitting, you look to be the leader of the group. Do you like the way we fight? If you double Dane's payment, we'd be quite happy to join your cause against Dane. Are you serious? Of course, we're not with Dane for the pleasant conversations. For the right price, we'll do as you like. I've no need for an ally who would betray me for a handful of coin. Is that so? Then I've no more use for you. I suppose they'll just have to kill you. Yeah, first world problems, right? So yeah, that's not bad, but keep in mind, like I said, since it goes twice, which for my group that's not something you're used to seeing as an enemy going twice, then it becomes a problem. You can see why I said you have to do this fast, though, because these crows are going to seriously get in the way if you go slow here. Not Naysala, but like the other ones will. That's actually good timing. So, now that you've lured Naysala out, what you need to do is talk to him with either Jennifer or Volke. Just put him right next to him, use the talk command. You, King Kilvis, why have you decided to make the Lagoos your enemy? One of Tabaran's flock, eh? You're his ears, if I'm not mistaken. And this will change if you choose Janeth. He'll say you're his eyes, and, you know, there'll be other conversation. It's not that much different, though. Why'd you sell Prince Rayson to Bjork? You Hawks rescued Rayson. Didn't you so everything worked out in the end? What's the problem? Would you repeat your words to Prince Rayson himself? Rayson is here? Here? Why? The Bjork leading this army helped him to escape Saren's force. Helped him? Are you saying the human came to the aid of Rayson, a Lagoos? That is what I say. He also rescued Princess Leanne. Leanne is alive? She's asleep for all these years. The forest protected her. Their voices brought the forest back to life. Of course, so that's how. Why don't you try speaking to Prince Rayson? If you do that, perhaps King Tabaran's rage will burn less brightly. Tabaran's rage, eh? Yeah, that would be a nice thing to have, but yeah, that's an idea of what would happen if you actually tried to attack. So, after that, just wait, and then you need to make sure that Rayson is within range of Naysala. Naysala will come and talk to him if you do this. So what I'm going to do is actually put Rayson pretty far over here, because I don't want these guys coming to attack him. Which, I don't know, if they might not, but I need to get Rayson out of the way. So we'll do that. sure that this ballista, once again, does not get in the way. I'm going to just block this guy off completely. So, we're just going to wait here. He's probably going to go after one of the two that doesn't have an equipped weapon. And, yeah, that actually should be fine. We'll just pull these guys a little bit farther forward. No real need to heal, but we'll go ahead and do it, right? Might as well. Once again, gotta go for those supports, right? I know we're getting near that chapter. Partners do whatever. I don't remember if Naysala moves. I almost said Tabarn. I don't remember if Naysala moves first here or not. That guy's over there just healing away, man. He doesn't care. Rayson! Still hates you. Hey, you. Yeah, hey, Rayson, look at you. You look sharp, kid. Go away. Oh, so you can talk. He is just so smug. Oh my gosh. At least let me give you a reason. Be gone, my ears are closed to you. We're friends. Yeah, clearly. It was like, yeah, you don't say. Leanna's alive. Yes, Tabarn's attendant told me. That's wonderful news. When he sees her face, I'm sure King Lariza will begin to feel better at once. Things are really looking up, aren't they, Rayson? Suppose that if you hadn't deceived me and taken me into that forest, we might not have discovered her. So I will forgive you. Just this once. Rayson, oh, that's with conditions. Will you accept them? What are they? Pull your troops from this battle, now, and never enter into combat against your fellow Lagoos. Oh, come now, Rayson. That's asking too much. What will you do, then? Will you continue to fight the Crimean army to which I'm in service? Very well, you win, Rayson. I'll take my soldiers and leave with me. Yet I cannot say what the future will bring. I have the fate of my nation to consider, after all. So we're friends again? Oh, and as for Tamarn, I will speak to them. So, that is how you remove Naysala from the fight. And if you've not, this is only if you've not killed any of the other crows. He will come in and say, oh, I almost forgot. I've got something for you. Call it an I'm sorry present. Eh, what's this supposed to be? It's a human trinket. It's called a night ring. Something made by Bjork. Don't make such a disgusted face. I tried it and it proved to be quite useful. Understood. I'll take it for now. Don't get killed, Rayson. If anything were to happen to you, Neolucci would never let me hear the end of it. And you get the night ring. At this point, his forces will turn into other units, and they will all withdraw from the battle. They'll just run off the side of the stage. This also means that they will start to get attacked by the other Dan troops. Wow, he actually didn't go twice. That guy's still probably dead, though. Once they die now it doesn't matter. You're not going to be attacking them, but if they die now, it's like, whatever. So at this point, they'll all just fly away. And they don't always make it off the stage in one turn. Sometimes it takes them two if they're kind of near the center of the stage. It might take them 2 turns to get away. And there you go. As you can see now, the field is a lot less much of a threat compared to what it once was. You just got these 4 guys here, these 2 up here, and no, I don't have a clue what this guy with the short axe is doing up here. And then this guy who ran off to heal. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and pull both of the flying units back. The flying Lagoos units back, anyway. But I should go ahead and go over the Night Ring, the item that we picked up. An item that, when equipped, allows the wearer a second movement, as with cavalry. So if you'll remember with, like, a Jill or Oscar or Astrid, anybody who's got, like, a flying or mounted unit, how they can move, if they've got a movement of 9, they can move 3 spaces attack and then still move 6 more spaces. Basically, you can equip this onto any unit and it will let you do the same thing. So I will probably be sticking it on Ike because it's very helpful for him. So that's likely what will happen. But first, we gotta finish this map. So let's start by healing Ike up, because he kind of took a little bit of a beating from that wind magic. And yes, because also it will give us a level up, and that's always good. Wow, point in defense, alright. Strength in defense, too, that's crazy. That guy I'm not too worried about. How close can I get to you without... Oh, we can just go up here. Alright, we'll do that then. see if we can lure, this guy back over here. I'm gonna go ahead and take my time and try to get that support for Leith and Jill to get to A. So, the turn after that they leave, Hamas will say, Kilvis has betrayed us. I think abandoned would be more accurate, but idiot, it's the same thing. Accursed subhumans, we never should have trusted them. Yep, well, too bad. And then they just don't move. Yeah, that seems fitting. No, just use the Steel Lance. Don't waste anything else. There we go. Bye-bye. Thanks for the level. 20 strength. Very nice. I'm just going to have her stay up there and let that other guy run into her. He's probably going to move a step back and then attack. Yeah, sure enough. I guess he might technically be there just for the sole fact that he's an axe user. And generally, if you're going up there with a flyer, the flyers usually have lances, so you think weapon triangle advantage? Maybe, but that's kind of pushing the reasoning a little bit there. Either way, he goes down just like everybody else. Really? Fine. Partners aren't going to do anything, enemies aren't going to do anything. Well, oh no, he actually is going to do it. Good thing he can't hit for anything. Okay, now let's get rid of you. Goodbye. Just gonna move right here. I'm surprised that Wyvern actually hadn't got. Maybe we have to get within range of him, but if that's the case, I'm not gonna bother. Homasa is a level 11 Swordmaster. This is the guy that got a critical on me, and I should have known because he's a Swordmaster unit, and so I was like, no, he probably won't be that bad. He might have a little bit of a crit rate, but it was enough to get me, so I would recommend being careful against this guy. As you've already seen, he has a Sonic Sword, which is a ranged attack. It uses his magic stat rather than his strength stat, but since they're about the same, somehow, it's really not that big a deal. Regardless, the Silver Sword is going to do more damage just because the might is simply higher on it, and his strength is just a little bit higher than his magic, but both of these you do have to be careful when fighting him, so fair warning about that. He also comes with the Depth. This means he can get 2 attacks in a row if his skill activates for it, so believe it or not, despite the fact that his, generally Swordmasters are pretty low on health, so they're not too bad. This guy's got a pretty good set of moves, so you might want to watch out for him. Somebody with high luck is probably a very good choice for this fight. Let's see. 10, 12, 9. Wow, I have pretty low luck stats all around. Leith is actually the highest. Huh, how about that? Alright, then Leith will probably get the kill once her gauge gets back up. Alright, they're not going to move, so I'm just going to knock out these guys one by one here. Here? Nice voice crack. Jeez. Like I said, they don't move. I don't know why, but they won't move, so I'm just going to go in one by one and get rid of them. This might seem like a waste for the bonus experience, but I do want to show off that A support ability, and since I know that's coming up relatively soon as opposed to, the end of the game, I figure it's a little bit more important right now. I've never seen that healer actually heal any of those other units should you not kill them, so I don't know what he's doing there. Yeah, they're going to shift back. I should actually be healing people with Sorin while I'm thinking about it. Let's see. Or are they actually all good? No, they're all good. Huh, how about that? Alright, never mind then. I could have sworn somebody else had taken a hit at some point, but I guess not. That's not going to be enough. I'll just do this. No, that's not going to be enough either, because it's only got 1 use left on it. So, let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll just move Jill out of the way. I don't remember if it's whenever the turn starts, when it ends, or whenever it's a battle, but I figure I might as well play it safe here. So get that Wyvern over here. Yeah, there he comes. What's up, buddy? I don't remember if that fills the gauge back up. I know in Radiant Dawn that actually does help fill the gauge up. Whenever a Lugi's unit gets attacked, it fills it up by a fair amount, actually. Like 5 or 6 points. Okay, that will be enough to get rid of him for certain. Enough for a level. Would have liked that speed, but what are you gonna do, right? Okay, one more turn. I want to make sure I've got both of them just in case Leaf doesn't get him in one round, which it's a Swordmaster unit, so probably not. His speed's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, 20 versus 20 and 19, so he is... Yeah, he's only gonna be able to get one. So let's see, that would bring him down to 19. And then there's 21. Okay, there we go. But yeah, see the crit difference there? Like, his crit is 5 against Leaf. And against Jill, it's 13. And the difference between their luck is 10 and 18. So it's a fair amount. Luck is relatively important. It's not super crazy important, like almost 98% of the time. It won't matter. But when you're fighting a unit that specializes in criticals or has a killing weapon, then you have to watch out for it. I fought many of your kind before and I know all your techniques. Will you challenge me even so? That must have been cancel. Something like that. It canceled out his attack, because he should have... Like, he should have attacked me after that, but he didn't. Right, there we go! You are gone. The shame. If you attack him with Ike, he'll actually mention that he was also... He says something like, your fighting style is rough and awkward, yet terribly strong. Who's your teacher? And Ike says it's his father, and he says, my father taught me how to wield the sword as well. But yeah, he's not recruitable. I know he looks a lot like Stefan, same sword style, you know, same unit, same green hair, even though it's a little bit darker. No, he's not recruitable. I honestly thought he was the first time I played through it, but he's not. It's because you did an excellent job of driving off the Ravens. Yeah, if we continued to fight them, we would have suffered even more casualties. We didn't suffer any casualties this time. Must extend thanks to racing. Nope, he's fine. Soren healed him, so it's all good. Oh, great. What is it? This is... Holy... It's gold, all of it. Everything is gold, even that sack. It's the sack itself is made of gold. Damn, must be filthy rich. There's so much it doesn't even seem real. What do we do with it? It's the spoils of war, so naturally it's ours. Sweet. In that case, I'd like to borrow 50,000. Will that be alright? It's a lot of money. What are you planning on doing? It's a private matter. Please, this is skull for the mercenary company. Until now, I haven't had the resources to adequately pay them, so please. Yeah, seriously, we could use the cash. We need to start working on those forge weapons eventually, so... Every little bit helps, right? I'm just about... Yeah, don't shoot the messenger, except for the fact that they always do. So, yes. So, you had your way with us, didn't you, King Kilvin? But if you want to make an enemy of Dayan, then so be it. You know, at this point, Dayan's pretty much by itself. Gallia's not with them. The dragons are indifferent. The Hawks are with us. Benyon is with us. And then they just got betrayed by the Ravens. So they're pretty much by themselves at this point. So that guy runs off. Need something. A brilliant plan. If this continues much longer, the king will have my head. Yeah, it's about time we took out one of the 4 riders, though. So yes, this is what we're using the 50,000 gold for, is for Volke. You've waited a long time. Take this. It's the gold you were promised. Finally scraped it together, huh? I'll gladly accept it. Aren't you going to count it? There's no need. I'll trust you. Alright then. Whatever. So, we finally get to hear the report that Volke wrote for his father, because that's what it took was 50,000 gold. And he says, there isn't one. There is no report, and there never was. There's something I must tell you, however, it cannot be written down. It's too great of a secret for that. Father told me to wait until I thought you were mature enough to hear it, and then tell you myself. So yeah, he figured out the gold was his idea. That was his way to, yeah, figured, to test how responsible he would be. So, he spent a long time as Grail's hired shadow. A long time. Remained hidden from sight in case the day ever arrived that I needed to fulfill my contract. All that time for one job. If Grail was ever to go berserk, I was to stop him. I was to take his life. Dude, you're not near strong enough, but whatever. Actually, there was one other thing. If Grail was ever slain by his pursuers, I was to watch over his son and tell him Grail's secret at an appropriate time. That was my job. Why would you have to kill my father? Because of Laren's medallion. The medallion your sister carries. Yeah. As you guys have probably already figured this out, it is not just a keepsake of their moms. It is a lot more. Grail told me it was an object of great peril, but nothing more. I did some investigating of my own, though, and what I discovered surprised me. Laren was one of the Herring clan, an ancestor of our Prince Racing, who carried with him a bronze medallion. Long, long ago, a band of heroes deprisoned an evil god and imprisoned it therein. So yes, an evil god is actually imprisoned in there. And I have no idea how the cursed thing came to be in Grail's possession. That being said, I do know the men who hunted your father were actually seeking the medallion. Why they wanted it and what they planned to do with it, who knows? Nothing good. The medallion is an object of great peril, then why would my father allow Miss to carry it around? That doesn't make any sense. It's because she can carry it safely. Actually, she's the only one who can. If you ever want proof, think back. Have you ever once touched it? No, I haven't. A long time ago, I remember reaching out for it while Miss had it in her hand, and my father scolded me harshly. After that, I assumed it was my sister's alone, and I never reached for it again. Compared to other people, the balance within your sister is extremely strong. Your mother, it seems, was the same. That's why she could bear it safely. The medallion is like a strong poison. It takes the worst aspects of a person and magnifies them 1,000-fold. Grail touched it only once and it drove him to complete madness. So that's what you meant when you said he went berserk. Yes. The Orc and Lagoos are made up of two forces, balance and chaos. In this, there is no difference between us. It is the proportion of balance to chaos that determines how much the medallion affects a person. In that sense, it predicts how much harm that person might do. Your father was one of the greatest preeminent swordsmen of his generation. The day after he touched the medallion, 20 soldiers had come for him, 20 highly trained killers. Your father barely broke a sweat cutting them down. Then he began attacking his neighbors, those who had taken him in, concealed his identity, and called him friend. He slew them one by one until your mother rushed in, thinking only to save her husband from himself. It was over in an instant. Your mother grabbed the medallion from his hand and stepped away from him. They say she smiled as he pulled her sword from her breast and forgave him as her life's blood spilled onto the street. So it turns out the way Ike's mom died was actually being slain by Ike's father as he went insane. It was the medallion. Its power is too great for any man, even one of your father's caliber. Me, you, if either of us touched it, I'm certain we would both be consumed by madness. When your father regained his senses, he tracked me down. It seemed he'd heard rumors of me some time before. He said he had need of someone like me, closed-mouthed, skilled, and most importantly, willing to do any sort of work. Of course, after hearing what he wanted me to do, I turned him down. Grail was once a famed general. He was Sir Gawain, one of Dane's 4 riders, and I recognized him at once. As you heard from that conversation that I played whenever he was fighting the Black Knight, he did say General Gawain, rider of Dane, so in fact, it is true. Grail was one of the original 4 riders of Dane. There was no chance someone like me would ever be able to stop him. Grail lost his wife and his grief was overpowering. To keep anything like that from happening again, he crippled himself. He slashed the tendons in his sword hand so that he could not wield the sword again. I took the job only because he had come someone my skill could handle. And even then, he was still far stronger than most men. What I don't understand is he can't wield a sword, but he can wield an axe. And generally those are heavier than swords, but whatever. That is Grail's secret, as I know it. I now trust you the responsibility of seeing that the medallion does not fall into the wrong hands. Your sister must keep it. My father lay dying. He told me to forget everything and live in peace. What did he mean? He didn't want you to lose yourself and go hunting for revenge, I suppose. He was killed much, much sooner than he ever expected to be. So my father's dying wish was for me to protect the medallion. If I can do that, everything will be alright. I believe so. At the very least, that must take precedent over everything else. Oh, one last thing. What is it? Do you want to hire me in the event that you go berserk someday? If we make a deal now, you won't have to worry about it anymore. As for the payment, I can just take it out of the $50,000 you just gave me. What do you say? So this is the point where you can choose to either hire or don't hire him again. If you choose don't hire, then he is going to leave your group, I believe, and he will not come back. If you choose to hire him, however, which is what we're going to do, please. That's a wise decision. And in that case, I need no longer to conceal my true identity. If you choose to do so, you will class change. This isn't incredibly important. If you're using Volke for your treasure picking skills, it gives him some added stats. But since unlocking treasure chests doesn't give you anything, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a slight advantage using him over Soth because he class changes from Thief to Assassin. You might think this would make Volke, like, super, super good. Actually, doesn't help that much. Not really a thief, I'm an assassin. From now on, I'll take on any job you've got, no matter how dirty. So yeah, while you would think it would help him a lot, surprisingly it doesn't. He can get, from the occult skill, he can get a move called Lethality, which will instantly kill whatever unit it activates on, which is cool, but remember the whole knife thing, because he can't get a second weapon, he's still like super weak in the attack stats, so you're pretty much relying on Lethality to activate if you give it to him. Aside from that, not any good. Though he's not technically a thief anymore, he still can't open treasure chests, so you're not stuck using just Soth. Yeah, you do get actually experience for the Ravens escaping as well, so that's another good reason. So, that is all for Chapter 19 of Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and in the next episode, I will see you guys for Chapter 20. See you then.